I'm gonna call for backup.
Good call. I'm back. Hey, what's up guys, Kiriko here, and finally, after quite a bit of time, welcome to another Filmmaker Reacts episode. As I'm sure many of you guys have noticed, I took quite a break because I really want to focus and finish my latest short film, Final Fantasy VII Resurgence, the first time ever that Final Fantasy has come to live action. And guys, do me a favor and click the link in the description and go watch it, because if you enjoy the cinematics, I'm sure you're gonna really like this one. I've already gone through so many great comments from you guys, and I couldn't be more excited to share this with you. And the cool thing is, guys, everything we discuss in this Filmmaker Reacts episode, you can see it being implemented in Final Fantasy VII Resurgence, which I think is really cool. From some really great moments to some sick action, the sound design and the visual effects, god, there were so many visual effects. It's really something to experience. Now, speaking about visual effects, I know that it is quite a hard topic for most people out there, but there is a way to play with visual effects in the most easy and enjoyable way, and that is with Shot FX, who I've brought to you today's episode. Shot FX is a video camera / editor that you can have on your phone, and you use it to basically add effects to your videos. All you need is your phone and the app. No need for complex equipment or software, and you know, the entire learning curve for learning this thing. So click the link in my description and download Shot FX for free and try it out for yourself. You can have it on both Android and iOS, or simply search for Shot FX in your app store and get creative. So with that said, it's time to once again fire up YouTube and check out the Overwatch 2 Kiriko cinematic. Slight changes to the setup, but I do have a sick new keyboard. This is the Tofu 65, sick thing. So I'm gonna place it here. I have my cable right here, so we're gonna go tethered in this time and we're good to go. So YouTube full screen, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, I mixed.
Hi, Mr. Yoshida.
Oh,
I missed
Hi,
Blizzard
Kiriko.
Overwatch cinematics.
donuts for dinner again?
These aren't just any donuts. They're Fox Festival donuts with spirit sprinkles.
Who doesn't like
Wanna
donuts?
try one?
No, thank you. But I hope you
Mate.
and your mother enjoy them.
She's here.
The quality, it's quite
Let me guess.
up.
She brought her vacuum.
The quality of the animation
Yeah.
is really nice.
You know, someone came to work with me today, and she's very excited to see you.
Hey there, little rabbit.
Oh, she doesn't
You're
talk.
getting so good at that.
Aw.
Oh, but of course. Oh, I've got something for you.
That's adorable AF. They should sell this. I would buy it.
Aww.
How do I look?
Well, I should get going. See you later, little fox.
Where is this
Mr.
going?
Yoshida, pray for me.
Is here.
Mom! You're here! Kiriko, it's not safe here anymore. Just last week, someone in this building was robbed at gunpoint. You should never have moved out. I brought you groceries.
Good exposition though.
Mom, you're overreacting.
I'm not overreacting. Please, tell me this is not your dinner.
Breakfast, lunch.
Mom, look at me. I am totally protected by the fox spirit, just like Grandma was.
Your grandmother is gone. And I will not lose you too.
But Mom, the fox spirit can block bullets and balance your blood sugar. She's an all-purpose kind of spirit.
Balance your blood
And
sugar.
flour,
It's pretty funny actually.
Which makes...
donuts.
Donuts.
You know I have a sword.
I want a donut now.
I'm fine.
Why does she
I'm
have a
so
sword?
safe.
You know, stay up all night worrying about you. You've stopped training with me. Kanezaka's falling apart, and I don't know how to protect you.
I do not need
Faith
protection.
alone isn't enough, Kiriko.
Mom, you may not believe in the fox spirit, or what Grandma taught me, but believe in me.
Aw.
I'm stronger than you think.
Are you?
I guess we'll find out. Okay. What is that kind of war?
Do you know how
That's more
ridiculous
funny
you
than scary,
sound?
but
Oh, don't worry, Mom.
I'm guessing bad guys.
Animal spirit.
Your son owes us a lot of money.
I already told you. I don't know where he is.
You think this is a game? You think the fox spirit is gonna protect you? We are Hashimoto-san!
I didn't kill you to eat a pistol.
How is she seeing through the door since the doors are like...
I just want what's best for you, Kiriko.
Ooh.
Kiriko?
Let's go.
I'm gonna kick every one of you in the face.
I like where this is going.
What? No one threatens the Hashimoto!
Wait, I don't want to get kicked in the face. I'm gonna call for backup.
What?
Good call. Mate, this is epic. Oh no. Phoenix feather, nice. I know that's not probably how it's called, but... Aww. Oh, and she can't talk either.
Hashimoto.
You're not in... Yeah, you're gonna get kicked in the face. Yay!
Hashimoto have preyed on this city,
Let's go!
this neighborhood, these people for too long.
Let's go! Come on!
I
Yes!
have a message for you to take back to your boss. Kanezaka is under my protection.
That's badass, man. Oh, that's too funny, man. That's sick. It's the fox. Oh, it's adorable. That was so sick, man. The music.
Okay.
That was such a different take on the music and the action at the same time. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's so cute.
Such a brave little fox. Keep your eyes on this one. She's growing up so quickly.
Is a little girl a
Thank you.
game character as well? Or maybe something to come later. Ah, so cool, man. I love the teleportation.
Kiriko.
You were watching that whole time and you could help? I mean, not that she needed help, but... Aww.
Mom?
Very cute. Is he gonna eat all the donuts now?
Your heart.
Oh. I'll be okay.
Very cool.
Maybe I shouldn't have stopped training with you, after all.
Maybe I judged your donuts a little too harshly.
Maybe moving home for a little while isn't such a bad idea.
That would make me so happy.
Mom, please don't cry. If you cry, I'm gonna cry.
Just eat donuts, guys. They make everything better.
I'd be so proud of you. My baby is superhero.
Oh wow. Oh my god. Someone's been a tiny bit dramatic. Mate. That was legendary. I need first things first, let's like the cinematic, like this video as well, guys. Mate, the action sequence was something else. I've actually missed doing this, which is kind of a bit of a surprise. Can you know when you do something for too long, you can't stop but feel a bit jaded by it. So the channel is gonna change a bit in the following weeks, because I'm gonna just be changing the content a bit. Obviously, Filmmaker Reacts episodes are gonna keep rolling out, but not, you know, every 5 seconds, you know, and everything that comes out, because you kind of like spoil it, let's say. But this one, I'm so happy that this is a cinematic to come back to with this series, and I hope that you guys had fun as well. As always, in the second part, we dive right back into the cinematic and talk about filmmaking stuff, visual effects, techniques that were used, and what makes them so good and what we can learn from them, and apply it ourselves, really. That's, I think, what's so cool about this this series on YouTube. So let's do that now. I'm still kind of like shocked by how, because I wouldn't never actually think that that type of music would fit so epically with such an action scene, but they did a really freaking good job. So let's go back to the start. Press 0 to go back to press 0 to go back to hero. No, doesn't make any sense. So full screen. We have the and a very cool and different way of doing titles as well. That is kind of like instant drop and glitchiness. Now, very cool. So we have an opening of a straight opening to the character, and since all of this takes place indoors, I guess there's no need for an establishing shot. So here we start straight on with the opening of the elevator and the character, who has donuts, and we instantly like her for that reason.
Hi, Mr. Yoshida.
Oh, hi.
We introduced a few more characters in a very nice and basic way of filming this. Sometimes I feel people try to complicate the way something is shot, but it's not really needed. If you do the basic, but what you have in front of the lens and the material, the script, the character, and all of that is what really matters. So here, if we actually were to break this down, we have some very basic shots, kind of like changing the focal length as the script plays through, focusing in one character, flipping out to the other. Now I would say this one, if you had to replicate a simple scene, it would be a case of using a 35mm on a full frame and then swapping between a 50 and back to a 35 and just focusing on the characters, their expressions, and what they're saying.
Donuts for dinner again?
These
And
aren't
here we see the classic case of over the shoulder, looking at the character and then flipping
just
over.
any donuts. They're Fox
To look at-
Festival donuts
The other-
with spirit sprinkles. Wanna try one?
No.
Why would you say no? Very cool. Of course, in this case, it's always good to remind ourselves of the 180 rule, which basically dictates that once you have a talking scene or any type of scene with a specific element within it, you should remind yourself of the 180 rule, which describes and kind of like a line between the two subjects, and your camera should stay within the 180 rule of that line. This is really helpful because the audience gets kind of like jaded if you flip sides, because it doesn't make any sense. So if you shoot something over the left shoulder, when you flip around to the character, you can only go to the 180 rule and film from the right shoulder. This way, let's say this mouse is the subject, we once look this way and then we look this way. This really helps to keep the space and the orientation of everything in front of the camera in our minds and not get confused as to how are these characters oriented in the sense of the space and all that stuff. Sometimes you can break it, especially during action, but when it's a simple conversation scene, it's one of the most important rules to keep in mind. And I muted myself.
But I hope you and your mother enjoy them.
So we have some good kind of like character back and forth to make us care and also get a bit of insight of the characters' personalities and that sort of
She's
stuff.
here.
Yes, she's here.
Ugh.
Say like she's a bit like, oh no, my mom's here and stuff like that.
Let me guess.
To work with me today.
Very cool. We are getting introduced to the little girl. Very cool.
Hey there.
Another, it works really well to give us an insight to the character and the personality and make us like them basically, or care a bit for them versus not at all.
Little rabbit. You're getting. Oh, but
They're having a nice talking scene.
going. See you later.
Cool. So she enters her mom. It's kind of the same thing, talking with her mom. This is all done very, very well, and the script is interesting enough to keep our attention.
You're overreacting.
This is not your dinner.
I am totally protected by.
I would say all of this is basically 35mm and 50mm. Even though, of course, this is animation, you still need to create a fake camera and a fake focal length to get this done.
And
So
I will not lose you to.
when I remember when I was first starting, I was so perplexed, but what is the right lens to use to get this effect? Now, if you guys notice, this is shot in a 21:9 ratio, hence the black bars. When you do this, a 35, it is the perfect focal length to shoot something cinematic. I actually shot almost the entire Final Fantasy short film on a 35mm. The only times I used a 50mm was during some very dark scenes that the only focus should be the face and expression of the character. Everything else, an entire short film, almost 35mm.
Do.
But mom, the fox spirit can block bullets and balance your blood sugar.
Very funny.
Snakes?
Love the colors as well. Very vibrant, and her design, her color scheme is essentially that kind of like almost muted crimson red with that emerald green. This is a very nice combo. They're basically the cream shirt and the red connect very well together, but then you have that contrast of color with your let's call it emerald hair. Creating a character, when you create a character, is essential to create a color theme for them. That's what makes a character distinct. For example, in FF7 Resurgence, my character is very muted. So he has silver hair with silver details on his bands around the shirt, but also the Buster Sword has silver on it. That is his color theme, black and silver, with of course the Mako eyes putting some color in them. The character of Delta in the short film, she is black, pink, and way more vibrant. And of course, her weapons also reflect, and she has pink in her knives and that sort of thing as well. And then other characters and so on, which I don't want to spoil much, but what I'm trying to say basically is, in order to create a very defined character, they need to have a color theme as well. And this color is very nice.
You know,
Because, for example, her mother doesn't really have something specific on her. She just wears white and kind of like a dress clothes, but that is it. Even the girl had a lot of color characteristics in her design. So we get the sword. I really like this. It's such a different type of theme, let's say, artistic take to this, and I really enjoy the different music styles and how they're implemented. Really creative and really cool. So the bad guys show up. She gets an
That's
oof of
a
it.
lot of money.
Think this is a game?
This is the hothead of the group, obviously. Really hot. I get that this is like animated and picturesque, like, but I would say he's a tiny bit too cartoonish for me to have any kind of like danger feeling when it comes to him, because he's so cartoonish. I know that he's gonna get his face kicked as it's gonna happen, basically. Oh, that's very sad.
I just
That's really cool. They don't even show you her teleporting, but the sound effect is the one that makes you think of it. Of course, they have the tiny particles, but in general, I would say here they could easily have shown you the teleportation effect, but I think they're keeping you on your toes, and that's a cool decision. Sound design plays a massive role. In FF7 Resurgence, and I'm just bringing this example because it's the most recent one, and it's by far the most advanced project I've directed and do all, basically 80% of the work myself, because this way you can really put your head into all the vast facets of filmmaking. Sound design plays a bigger role than visuals itself. Actually, when you have solid sound design, it can really help propel the story, and this is how I believe the not the underlying villain, the surface villain of the short film really came to life. Without the sound design behind it, it would not have the impact that I had in mind for it to have.
what's best.
So we go out. I love the color changes. That's really cool. Because how did she change the colors? I get that she has magic powers, but how did the colors of the light bulbs change? You know what I mean? But it's really sick.
I'm gonna kick every one of you in the face.
It's sick. I even like this. This is so good comedy, man. Face kicking time. It's just so funny, man.
No one threatens the Hashimoto!
Wait, I don't want
I love how the knife is gonna go in.
I'm gonna call for backup.
Oh, that was sick, mate. It's so funny that in FF7 Resurgence, one of the characters has those knives, which were inspired by Valorant, actually, and the character of Jet. And in this one, she throws kunai. That is really cool, because in the short film, there are quite a few effects with throwing kunai and this kind of like electrification within them. So what are the freaking chances, man? Really sick. When that beat hit, it hits you so hard and you instantly get into the zone with the beat, but it's such a different type of music to put in the fight scene. I freaking love it, man. Neighbors. What I was gonna say is, I'm gonna let this play because the way the action is portrayed visually, it's stunning. Now, some things you can only do with animation, but I always try to keep my eye out for sick animation that can, with hard work, be brought to live action as well. When it comes to FF7, I really try to pay homage to so many different scenes from the game itself to bring them to life, whether that is the sword kind of like creeping through, or Sephiroth's Inferno, and all that, so many tribute moments, and this really caught my eye, so I'm gonna let it play because it's just sick. Flawless. If you would want to replicate this, you absolutely need to choose the song first, and then even write the choreography and the key moments, boom, 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 based on the beat of the song. If you do this, and it's actually a genius idea, you will be able to make something similar to this, because every hit, every beat, every breath happens in perfect harmony with the song. And not only that, they animated it so cool, because it goes in, we cut into a close-up and the flip. As the flip happens, we cut to a top view. How sick is the top view in an enclosed space? It's very hard to do, but it is so cool. Again, cut to a close-up, literally just the hand doing this. Bump, bump. Even this, what a shot, man. I love when you go close up to the character and they have full control from their eyes. Literally made FF7 Resurgence, Kunai, and the Thunder Spell. Just saying. Thumbs up. This is our moment when they even show a bang. If you go frame by frame, they keep it for exactly 2 frames. That's smart. But even the character is illuminated by the light behind him, even though it is an artistic choice, not something that really happens. Instead of showing blood or something else going on, really smart. But this is the moment that we go and they make us hold our breath for a second, because it's something we did not expect. Really cool. And the music stops and drops on that moment exactly. We have the heartbeat, of course. Phoenix down, really sick. And now we can breathe again. I love this.
Hashimoto have prayed on this sake.
Boom! Mate, one of my favorite things, and one of the first effects I really want to get down on when I was first starting, is eye effects. Because eyes tell everything about a character. And when you can have magic eyes, things can go really quickly. Now, this can easily, I say easy, but I've done eye effects for ages now. And, in order to recreate the Mako eyes, which this really remind me of, it was such a process, because I had to track every individual eye and animate the effect based on blinking and expression. But I'm so proud of the final effect, which looks very similar to this, because it really brought one of the biggest aspects of the game, which is the Mako infused eyes from the soldiers, to life. So really sick stuff. There is already a tutorial on the channel, but there's probably going to be another one on Mako eyes and so forth. But basically what you do is you individually track each eye, placing the tracker on the iris of the eye, because the eye moves individually to the face, and then you create a mask, and then you apply various effects. Now the secret is, I know this is animation, but for live action the secret is to have a camera with 10-bit color depth in its recording, and then expose with enough detail in the eye. If you do this, because of the 10-bit color, you can then manipulate the eyes to a great extent. And this is sick. I love seeing this. I love eye effects because they bring such a cool characteristic to the character and what's about to go down, basically. And now we see the transportation effect in its full glory, which is basically particles going through space. There is I'm just gonna take it that you guys heard me out and clicked and watched the short film, because in the short film there is a limit break. Of course, with Final Fantasy there's a limit break, and I cannot have a Final Fantasy short film live action without making a limit break as well. So It's very similar to this. Basically what you do is you make the character make a move, and on that move you have particles almost exploding, but not like erratically. It's not like an explosion. It's a particle emission that happens on a character move, and you blend those two together to remove the character when that happens. So character move, particle explosion, the character is gone. Where you want them to show up, particle explosion, character shows up. Really, really sick effect.
This neighborhood,
Love it!
these people, for too long. I have a message for you to take back to your boss. Kanezaka is under my protection.
Masterpiece. Freaking love it. You know what's sick about this cinematic as well? The action sequences have no shaky cam on them. Now, there's shaky cam, there's handheld motion, and there is basically gimbal-esque to no motion at all. In order to sell action, my favorite type is handheld, having a dynamic movement. I don't like shaky cam, you can't see anything, it's very disorienting to the eyes. I believe that handheld motion can really give a very nice visual, emotional movement and dynamism to the shot. What I'm really shocked by is that in a tiny corridor that this takes place, they have chosen to not use any handheld or shaky cam.
Preyed on
The
this
action
city.
is almost statically.
This
Look,
neighborhood,
nothing
these
like.
people, for too long.
See?
I have a message for you to take.
They do change the scene to keep it interesting, but the action that happens within it has almost no motion. This is extremely hard to pull off, and yes, this is animation, but they did a stellar job in animating and sound design and visual effects and choreography. Stunning work, guys. Well done.
Take back to your boss.
And I love this.
Kanezaka is under my protection.
This bit had me cracking up, but no. The little girl. Oh, hey, hurt. Not thump. Ah, the camera is tiny bit obstructing my view. So yeah, that scream was excessive, but very funny. So that is that. But the cool thing is, then they go back to the beginning type of like kind of like just pure character storytelling and character development, I guess, because at the start she was like, oh no, my mom is here, and now she's like, oh, you know what, maybe coming home is not that bad. It's cute.
Kiriko.
Hey, this was a 9.5-minute cinematic, and it all took place in a corridor in a room, and it was absolutely sick. Impressive. Okay guys, so that's it for today's Filmmaker Reacts episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a while. Thank you all for your comments and recommendations. As you know, I always go through them, and when I see that something is recommended so much, of course I will tackle down and make a video about it. Let me know what you thought about the cinematic down in the description below. Down in the comment section below. Please check out Final Fantasy VII Resurgence and let me know what you think about the live action adaptation of Final Fantasy VII. This is the first time that this has happened and I couldn't be more proud of it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, stay awesome and creative.